So there can be lots of metaphors people use, and but for me it's like a pervasive rotting, I guess, has no organic reason for it other than that it's called depression, and it eats away at you from the inside out to the point that you can't get out of bed, you can't see the joy that is in life, you can't see that the possibilities of life around you, can't appreciate what it is that is in life that is beautiful. And for me, that's even, as sad as it is, it's even the people in my life that are there, the people that are the reason for me to get out of bed. I can lose sight of them and start to believe that not that they don't matter, they still matter, but that I would be somehow protecting them if I were no longer to even exist, that would be better for them. It's a strange, perverse sort of thinking. It's not right, and it's not rational, and it's not logical, and it's plainly wrong. But when you're in the grips of that depression, you can't see any other way out. You can't see any other truth. It feels like it's the only truth that you can believe. And it is a hard thing to ask for help, and it shouldn't be, and it certainly shouldn't be for me. But because I'm in that business of helping people, I should be able to accept that I need help myself, right? That would make sense. And I believe in the help that is there. It's not like I don't believe in it. I'm not like a skeptic. I'm not anti-counselling. I'm not anti-medication or not anti-group therapy. But it's, it is really hard to be honest with yourself. I think it's the hardest thing. I think I lied to myself mostly. I think I did. It was, I wanted to keep the mask on for so long. I just wanted to pretend, and I think that's a really common thing for a lot of people, is that you just want to pretend that everything's okay, and deny it, and just put your mask on and pretend that I really am strong, I'm okay, I'll be all right. And keep smiling and keep being bubbly and keep being what you want to be, that part of yourself that you know is still there, that part is still there, and I'll just pay attention to that, and so I'll hide everything else so that no one will know what it's really, really like on the inside. Stigma of depression is such a wretched thing. It stops everyone getting from help. I mean, these days they say that 1 in 4 people have depression. 1 in 4 people. So I sit there and I think, well, all right, just count the number of people right now in this cafe and think of 1/4 of them have depression. I don't know if that statistic is accurate right now, but how many of those get help? And if it takes, I've heard another statistic that on average it takes 7 years for people to get diagnosed. And if that can be true, that's crazy as well, that people suffer for that long before they get help. And that's because of stigma. It's because of people's fear that they'll be judged and seen as not strong or weak or not good enough or unbalanced or crazy or unfit. That I could be a bad mother if I'm a depressed mother, or I could be I couldn't be a social worker and be depressed, or I couldn't be a school counsellor and be depressed, or I would be seen as less than, or that people would judge me as just being only depressed, like, oh, that's Lyndall, she's depressed, because that's not who I am. Anybody who knows me would not describe me as depressed. It's not who I am. It's a part of me. It is a part of me. And yet, sometimes that part of me is like a big freaking rotten thing, like eating you from the inside out. But other times it's just not even there, and people won't know it. And I don't want people to think of me as depressed. I don't want that, so I don't want to admit it to myself, because when I'm not depressed, I'm not that person. I'm a fun-loving, life-loving person with so much love to give, but I have to look after myself. And if that stigma stops people from getting better, it really makes me angry. It's a burning issue for me, because if stigma stops you from acknowledging to yourself what's happening, then it stops you from getting better, and you can get better. Depression is so treatable. It's so treatable. I think if you feel like you're suffering with depression, or if you're wondering if you're suffering with depression, then the most important thing is that you get yourself some help. And you can get help from a whole lot of different people, but a really good first point of call would be to go to your GP, who can just, talk to you about what your symptoms are. And for me, those symptoms are broadly just that lack of joy and love for life. So, if you can't get out of bed in the morning and you think that there's no purpose to life, or you feel that there is no joy or absolute love for whatever is happening in your life, and there's a flatness, a mood that just won't shift, a dark cloud that you just can't shake, a feeling of anxiety or perpetual worry that no matter what you do you can't alleviate, then go and talk to someone, because depression is really treatable. And you don't have to suffer like this. You don't have to suffer like this terrible depth of despair, because help is available. And the most important thing I want people to know is don't give up on yourself. Don't think that this is permanent, because it's not. It's not permanent. If I could just say one thing to people, it's that: don't give up and fight to get better. Keep talking to someone, find someone to talk to, and get yourself some treatment. There's great resources available and there's great help available, but you have to be prepared to stand up to stigma and stand up and be brave and say, look, this is how I'm feeling. What can I do about it? Get me some help, get me some treatment, and you will feel better. It will pass. You won't stay in that depth of despair forever. It's definitely going to be something that you will come out of and you will recover from. Just got to believe it.